Hey there, welcome to ShareTrek. This is Raj here. Friends, this is another HIV video. We usually try to do 2 videos in a week. And this video has got some kind of a correlation with the video I did yesterday. And that is because in yesterday's video, we were talking about a therapy that's a monoclonal antibody that goes and attaches itself to CD4 receptors, thus competing with HIV and preventing the GP120 from getting attached to the CD4 receptor. And that's how it protected the human body from HIV. What we are going to talk about today is a drug known as Fostemsavir ER, and it's also known as Rukobia. So I'm going to talk about this today because it operates slightly differently, but the idea is similar. This medication compromises the GP120 gag protein on the HIV virus and thus prevents it from interacting with CD4 receptors. So in order to explain this, I have taken the help of an animation that I found on YouTube. It has been posted by Rufus Rajadurai. I have taken only a small portion, just that portion which shows GP120 interacting with CD4 receptors and co-receptors, so that you could understand the mechanism of the current therapy that I'm talking about, which is Fostemsavir. And you can see the full video from Rufus by copying the link in the description. It's on YouTube, and it's an excellent video. I think anyone who is interested in understanding HIV should definitely see this animation. So with that said, I think I would like to get started with this video. Let's get started. Welcome back, friends. So Fostemsavir ER is also known as Rukobia, and it's a medication used in the treatment of HIV-1 infection in adults who have previously received multiple antiretroviral therapies and have multi-drug resistant HIV-1. Fostemsavir belongs to a class of drugs called attachment inhibitors, and it works by blocking the attachment of HIV-1 virus to CD4 receptors on human immune cells. This prevents the virus from entering and inflicting the host immune cells. Now let me show you a small snippet from a video which was made by Rufus Rajadurai. This video is on YouTube. I have put the link for the entire video in the description. I would insist that each one of you go and check it out because it talks about the entire HIV life cycle. It's a beautiful animation. It explains very, very clearly. So having said that, watch this snippet. Just focus. This part of the snippet just focuses on GP120 and how the HIV virus uses GP120 to bind to CD4 receptors, and then how the GP120 changes as soon as the binding happens and it dissolves, and as a result it exposes the GP40s, which would then get anchored to the CD4 T cell and draw the HIV virus body closer to the CD4 membrane, and then allow for the viral contents to get into the CD4 T cell. So this is the part that I want you to watch carefully so that you can understand how Fostemsavir works. I'll catch you after the animation. Well, friends, here is an animation that shows the purple sphere, which is a CD4 T cell, and the red dot you see above it is a HIV virus. And as we go to take a close-up of the CD4 T cell, you will see the yellow structures out there, and you also see these additional structures adjacent to it. So let us stop here and let me explain to you. Now you see this 4 blobs out here in this, I would call it like a Q-tip kind of structure. These are your CD4 receptors, and this is domain 1, this is domain 2, this is domain 3, and this is domain 4. And in yesterday's video, we saw a monoclonal antibody that would get lodged onto domain 1 and therefore prevent HIV gag protein from getting attached to the CD4 T cell. Now, these, I think, are the CCR5 co-receptors or CXCR5 4. And let us proceed with the animation to see how HIV comes in here. So if you see, just above there is a red sphere that's going to be the HIV virus. And it has got a lot of protrusions on its surface. So if you take a closer look at these orange structures are GP120, and within them is the GP41 protein, which is coiled. And GP120 is naturally attracted towards the CD4 receptors, and it gets the co-receptors to help it. The CD4 receptors join it onto the co-receptor, and then a chemical reaction takes place, because of which GP120 kind of dissolves, and it allows the GP41 to unfold. And once GP41 unfolds, it anchors into the CD4 surface membrane, CD4 T cell surface membrane, and starts pulling the HIV virus closer and closer towards the surface of the CD4 T cell. And once the surface membrane of CD4 T cell and that of HIV virus join together, they fuse, and the viral load of HIV is released into the CD4 T cell, completing the infection of the CD4 T cell. So as you saw there in the animation, it's so clear. The animation is wonderful. Check out the entire version. The link is in the description. And you can see that the GP120 is a kind of envelope-like substance which matches perfectly into the CD4 receptors. And if something were to come between the CD4 receptor and the GP120, then number one, it will prevent the GP120 from getting attached to the CD4 T cell. And when that happens, the GP120 cannot dissolve, and therefore the GP40s cannot be released. So this is the overall mechanism that Fostemsavir tries to take advantage of. So if we were to talk about Fostemsavir, what I would say is that it's marketed under the brand name Rukobia and was developed by Vive Healthcare. Vive has done a lot of pioneering work in HIV. This is one more of their products. Fostemsavir received approval from the FDA in July 2020 for use in the United States. And it's an extended release tablet. The ER there stands for extended release. So when you read Fostemsavir space ER, ER stands for extended release. It's a tablet designed to provide a steady release of the active medication once it enters the body. The extended release formulation is intended to optimize drug absorption and maintain therapeutic levels in the bloodstream. Here's a more detailed explanation of how Fostemsavir changes in the body. So this is done by oral administration, because Fostemsavir is taken orally as a tablet according to the prescribed dosage schedule provided by your healthcare provider. And once the tablet is ingested, it enters the stomach and then the small intestine, and in the gastrointestinal tract, the tablet begins to dissolve due to the effect of stomach acid and other digestive processes. This dissolution is the first step in releasing the active drug into the body. After the tablet dissolves, the active ingredient, Fostemsavir, is absorbed into the bloodstream through the walls of the small intestine. The extended release formulation is designed to release the drug gradually over time rather than all at once. This controlled release helps maintain a consistent concentration of the medication in the blood. And once absorbed, the medication enters the bloodstream and is circulated throughout the body, including the areas where HIV virus might be present. And in the bloodstream, Fostemsavir binds to the viral glycoprotein GP120 on the surface of HIV1, as previously mentioned. This binding prevents the virus from attaching to the CD4 receptor on immune cells, interfering with the initial steps of the virus's entry into the host cells. By disrupting the attachment and fusion of the virus with immune cells, Fostemsavir helps suppress the replication of the virus and the progression of the infection. The extended release property of the medication means that the drug continues to be slowly released over time, helping to maintain therapeutic levels in the bloodstream, and this allows once daily dosing as opposed to more frequent dosing with the immediate release formulations. The extended release design of Fostemsavir is intended to improve convenience for patients by reducing the dosage, the frequency of the dosage, while maintaining effective viral suppression. It's important for the individuals prescribed this medication to take it as directed by their healthcare provider on a consistent basis to ensure the therapeutic levels are consistently maintained, which is crucial for managing HIV infection. Now remember yesterday's video on UB421. If you had UB421 blocking CD4 plus T cells and Fostemsavir covering GP120 and preventing it from attaching to CD4 plus T cells, then you have a very strong protection. The question then becomes if this is overkill and if it is worth the side effects. To those of our viewers who are disappointed that a cure has not been found so far despite decades of research, and to those who believe in conspiracy theories that a cure is being deliberately delayed, I would say that the example of this video and the previous one and all the videos that we have made so far on all the therapies that have been attempted should make it clear that scientists are attacking the replication points of the virus at every stage, and they are doing their best. And the problem is that the copies of the virus that survive these drugs have mutations that make them resistant to these drugs, and they are the ones that multiply. Because the ones that are subject to the drugs fail to reproduce, and they are made extinct. But the variants which bypass these are now able to multiply and create more like themselves, which are mutated viruses. And as a result, we have multiple drug-resistant strains. So it's very important for patients who have been prescribed ART to take it on a consistent basis without break, and keep their regime so that they don't develop MDR strains. I think we should have a functional cure in place by 2027, and the best possible way humans can get rid of HIV is over generations of adhering to ART and keeping the viral load low to prevent fresh infections. Preventing fresh infections is the most important aspect so that future generations don't have to worry about this disease. With positive hopes for the future, I would like to end this video here, and I hope that you got inspiration that the scientists are working hard, the companies are working hard. They are tackling every stage of the HIV life cycle in order to prevent this virus from continuing its attack on the human race as such. Once again, I thank our 3 Patreons and 5 members who are supporting this channel. 3 of them are here to support the channel and not just for HIV in particular. Without their support, keeping up HIV programming with the depth and breadth and frequency that I am doing right now would be absolutely impossible. I need 100 members or Patreons by year end to keep the HIV programming going at this rate. So please use the link in the description to sign up for Patreon or press the join button on the channel and become a HIV member of the channel to support my work on HIV. Friends, in this channel, I do not want to interrupt your programming by talking about a sponsor and their product. I don't want to be sponsored by drug companies or pharmaceutical companies. In order to keep my coverage on HIV authentic, I'm going to rely on Patreons and members. And without your support, if I don't have 100 members by the end of the year, I will unfortunately have to start reducing the HIV content and potentially discontinuing it while I continue to focus on my genomic investment portion of the channel, which is where we started this channel with, and that is where the original subscribers have come from. But if you help me by becoming members, I would be able to staff up my channel and continue this work with the help of hired help, whom I can provide the scripts, I can direct the videos, and they can do the heavy lifting of actually recording, editing, translating it to various languages, and then uploading it onto the internet. And in Toronto, labor is not cheap, and especially educated personnel who can do this kind of work are not going to come cheap. And that's the reason why I need funding. And I'm looking forward to you guys supporting me. If you appreciate this channel for HIV, please support, become a Patreon, or become a member. We need at least 100 by the end of this month. Thanks and have a great day. I'm looking forward to your support. Bye for now.